no num abo apem mo ade shema ma ma obi bia dwa ma kwa ba braso ye ka se twa to e wo edane emu no madam ma ye de smo ka se kwan so HB News ensem no do so ne mum de edition edit na sem fo atena se abo ano de amam sem fans mo enwumre Monica Aboajoa anoba yemedi metwa me ho me ba nsem na poso no na poso me bobo so e de atwe ka se no betwa ne ho e wo social media handles ni na adar ma kwa like share na foforo nye bi enhwe follow ye call live with me enya notification no ebi ye website www.hbtvghana.com ye kuchiro ma mu nsem afa amanfo amanso nsem bi akofemfa mo gibre na kokinka bi metwa me ho abasisia and somebody be a better good Cassium when you marry and say a son a beya a bebuana say a environment no a technology and a offense on a health and a afforestation bibiano a bit major nice so ebran intino Mampany His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Eddie and Sembia to a year in interest or the initiatives be a guapunosua webe and chebebuana to me amasa a aquino esono ya who to me high what and some for emono telecommunications ye bedi enkomo phone sui na afi abefo kwan so no ehu behia eshabre de den hihye ye begu apono so se ne be ya ebetumi aboa na network ho samsam o man Ghana mu no eno so ho etumi ho anase etumi apa anopomasi bre ne science no so afọ to enkrabo amane de ma o man Ghana e de ensambia to jebe kwakope enhwemu na wopra se freedom of speech you know say kabi mami nkebi ubekasa ya no kasa na echi no enko fa basabasa ya na nkofa nsembia enfamba no eno nso no empanyifo ede nsembi atu edwade efa ho ekire se ene no nsembi wo ho no mewum se ye wo kabi mami nkebi amambo emu na nso no enyansem nyina ene ho kwan se ya yetume eka yebekwa kopenchemu ede afa sansem no eho na yakọ nwumasua ensemu nso dia ene na so for hye nwumasua nsem o my Ghana mu ade atudwa se aban ye hyehyeye ya sabre de enche bia on be extend BEC duration no ya na ebra wo mo editna se ene da mo de ekiro exams no mo kire se ase esua ema pressure ebeda emofra no so ebeka kopenchire mu ede afasa nsem no eho na afi yakọ amanfo aman so ebeko skasem na edwade ensemu ansa afi yakọ amanfo aman so akohwe de ekoso ewo ho so rechi na gukansem so abata kase no no adan man so yede beba abesomu Someone afufro bi ni aboa no de sumu enwumere se HB News mela me hu bio aba na afema sane 7 mo edi amamu Abusia mesha nsem na se a me de be free man panyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de atudwa SSC ade wabo anan akopie mu amanfo amanso ne nyina no o my Ghana mpunto ne nkankro eho enante na okro na akopie mu United Kingdom o de atudwa ekire mu se onya ebesi o man mu haya no wakọ akọ dwendwen ensem bi ne niam ho bi ne mpanyifo akosi nkonwa amasabre de o de initiatives foforo kra e de ba ababa beboa na o my Ghana no fa ne environmental sustainability, technological and advancement, and afeno improved healthcare delivery. Our my muno, Nena ebetumi ejana na so bra official trip or ba ebeti ewo my Ghana mo penoche say Ghana any United Kingdom so esinkonwa ama enkowachi chen so akoso message na ese ombeboa ewo artificial intelligence AI no na ya train o man for man so no san de no ana ewo so emran so ese edane ne ho ana so adane ne ho bi hu behia se wase esimi ebo modin a na yen so no ye de bo ye ho ebrant yen ko ne ntie Mampanyi John Dramani Mahama.
In addition, we also signed an agreement for commercial afforestation in the OT region. Also training of AI. You remember we recently outdoored our AI strategy, and so we're going to collaborate with UK in terms of expanding training in AI. Our AI strategy is headlined AI for Good, and so we'll work together to make sure that AI is beneficial to Ghana. There's also a component for training clinical healthcare engineers to man biomedical equipment. One of our major setbacks has been that anytime we purchase biomedical equipment, their maintenance and repair has been a major problem. So you provide it to the hospital, and in a year or two it's broken down. And so that's one. Stomach. We discussed political issues, economic issues, and of course also security issues in respect of the Sahel and all that. In addition, we also signed an agreement for commercial afforestation in the OT region. Also training of AI. You remember we recently outdoored our AI strategy, and so we're going to collaborate with UK in terms of expanding training in AI.
Ghana Mampenyi Abediachire, Her Excellency Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajimaden Sembi Atuja Obra Kopiemu Ewo Eye the 2026 Health Summit ase eno ochiremu ese my Ghana emponyo Ghana nko bibre amanya hodo ni nyina no ye kan ya pomide hu nsema ye de grato prayer eno no ye ma ye ni enko ho empe emwa nhwema ne ma entuto yie na ya na ye refi ho se nipa bia wapomuden eye wahonya ade ne sa ye ntino eho behia se ewo se yetumi hye na pomide hu nsem no ye ma eho etumi hia ne ye de hyehye ye gu apono so se ne be ye betumi aboa na obia no etumi ade ne ho ewo ayaresa kwan so na ochiremu a o se wo mo ede hyehye ye my Ghana de hyehye gu apono so asabre no ye health sector ho no performance ya ekoso na so se akoso so far ye mfie bebre edi eba ni past years no enema enye kra ewo health sector ho no nti ho behia ese etu eye ho anam oni nti na aban edi hyehye ye gu apono so aye the Accra Research on Health Sovereignty ena eba abeboa na wo mo etumi apeja niema mu na omatoto niema so yie ewo eye health sector ewo my Ghana emu.
Driven by its own leadership, investment, and capacity. For Ghana, and strategic investments in the health workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, a strong health workforce is the foundation of a resilient health system and a prerequisite for achieving the aspirations of the Accra Reset. Yet, across Africa, the challenge is not only to produce more health workers, but also to ensure that the right mix of skills and to deploy these professionals where they are needed most. While Ghana has made significant progress in expanding its health workforce, disparities in distribution remain, with many underserved communities still facing and aligned planning with the evolving health needs of our population. In that light, government in 2026 granted financial clearance for the recruitment of 16,000 health professionals, with 8,000 currently being recruited, as the minister has told us. This exercise forms part of a strategic deployment in health personnel to support the government's flagship free primary healthcare initiative. The success of this initiative depends on the availability and effective deployment of key frontline health workers, including the following: community health nurses, midwives, and continuous healthcare services.
Abusuasuafo a oto nkra no bo amane edema oman Ghana Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations Ononyam for Samuel Nate George Eden Sambi Atuja HRS ubepi oman Ghana mo network ho nsem sama broni beka se telecom services no enya kra ukọ emiamia bi kra de are ho kopim se end 21st century obi tumi kru dua ana dan na okotena so app network na wode call ana o kire se kwan a telecommunications network operators no ana mobile network operators ne kwan amone nam so no entwa yi enya kra nso to kra de na bobo ni science no wo mo ede hihye ye guapo no so a kire se free sabre edi konanim na wase omutumi ja omumu na womo ensakra esanse wochira o se beye mfinhia beye edu enie no enema mu enya kra ewo telecommunications no anase se ahomatrofo no eho ensem semenenti ena sabre no womo de hihye egu apono so se womo besisi cell site baako 1150 ya sabre de womo taxi mobile network operators no se obi amomode amfa ne ho enjim ebia ma womo task se free no the National Communications Authority womo ena sabre de womo ede sa enhihye no ede abamonte so de ohye no so ato network operators no so na womo kire womo say MTN nko anu ya direct ne say on construct 800 new sites ewo afi 2026 yi mu a na no akire no Telecel enso ebesi 350 sites eno so afi mu a eno waso womo so no etimi etusa anamon se ne be ya ebetumi aboa na ye network ho nsensem na etumi ejina na so brada na etumi asoma adehye nso
170. Our priority is not only to increase the numbers, we are investing in new cadres needed to address the growing burden of communicable diseases. To build a more competent workforce, government has offered 30 scholarships for PhDs for nurse tutors over the past 1 year alone. Through the Ghana Labor Exchange Program, we are also pursuing a more structured approach to health worker migration, one that transforms brain drain into brain exchange. Your Excellency, there's another conversation we must have if we are serious about workforce resilience. We can build hospitals, we can buy equipment, we can digitize our system, we can recruit thousands more health workers, but if treated with dignity, respect, and compassion, we will not achieve the outcomes our people deserve. Part of universal health coverage is not only access to care, it is the experience of care. That is why workforce resilience is not only about numbers, it is about ethics, accountability, discipline, and values. Bodies, professional associations, and training institutions to strengthen ethics, accountability, practitioner awareness, and professional standards. Because excellence in healthcare is not measured only by competence. It is also measured by character. Your Excellency, our broader universal health coverage agenda remains ambitious. The uncapping of the
Abusua wansan foforo mu no dom kuma wo mrahye bejefie abo aban no esobo na womo ensema womo eka enyina ene se World Cup no slot ahodo abai wase edema adehye no aban no asesa ede ama NDC mrashebedwafo na afen so no NDC echitafo ya Abraham no kasa de na chese wo monko ano na chese omotumi nya akwanya so mbetu sa kwan no akwakohye sa World Cup no ebi na wo kra chese nha wo mo na ebom no wo mo afeli ese wo so mo ya account na mo bu nkoncha ade ma mrashebedwa no se na ya anaso se na ntutuye esi eko ede afa tournament no na so ni nyina no wo ma hwedi enya ade a aban na afen so no na nkofo aye na o ma dwen se o be kire ni mu ede a kire mrashebedwa no na wo nyina tumi hu dia ekoso na deputy majority chief whip edema NPP no aso na sa ye mrashebedwa ni de ma ade hia mo tolong abato no empesua so Habib Idrisu onyanfo na ede ensemi nyina na ogina edom kuma na nim de ensemi to dwa kire se MPB no allocate 2 slots na ede ema no na afen so no constituency so no yama 3 slots se wo mo so no emfa share na visa ho sem no wo mo emfa NDH renko no mo ko hwe World Cup ne bi na yebeko na yetie honorable Habib Idrisu nsem we ni afoforo bia okan ya wo no enogina dom kes kuma no enim boss asobo.
Mr. Speaker, to overcome the indiscriminate destruction of fiber optic cables, the proposed amendment of the NCA Act, which will come before this House, has made provisions for punitive actions against entities and individuals who destroy fiber optic infrastructure of telecom companies. But, Mr. Speaker, it's also very important that I put on the record that the network challenges we face are as a result of almost 10 years of neglect in putting in the requisite infrastructure. And Mr. Speaker, I would use the biggest telecom company to put the records before the House. In 134 new sites. In 2017, they built 352 new sites. In 2018, they built 300 new sites. In 2019, 352 new sites. In 2020, 200 new sites. 2021, 120 new sites. 2022, 343 sites. 2023, 350 sites. In 2024, they built 30 sites. In 2025,
abusia me komanim ensam foforo mine na don kuma bio na ya kasa na we de wo mo eba no dani no nyamfo Alexander Afenyo Market na ejina parliament na the floor of parliament or de ensam etudwa kire se nia ekoso ene ewo NDC amanyoku no amban ne emu no wo mo kire eto ho pa na ehhehye yo mo di gu apono so sa abre so no lessons aya wo mo so esua na we be se ebre edane ne ho a ansha na de ekoso ene no ebekoso ochina so ebio na ne mo opposition anu nkire se wo mo entumi emba power bio na ne nyina ene se wo mo kire se special and then speech and press freedom no obia Ghana ni dihye bia eho eban freedom of speech se kasa kabima menkabi no so ende yakwesa se ukokire wadwen de fa asem bia ho a na aban tata mo na kire se ene na kire se ye chi wo mugum ene sa ne ma ekeka ho ni nyina no eno na wo mo kire se wo mo so esua pa ninti no eho ebehia so ombe ye consistent na afen so no standards no wo mo ahye na wo mo etumi ele ni yi anase rules no wo mo entutu ni ye se be ya da che se reverse ana edane a ankwankwa ya asem foforo ebio.
The other embassies for the visa. They are members were given 2 slots each that they should bring people for them to be sponsored to the World Cup. If you go to verify it, if you go to the Botema Park,